my second runner-up, my first runner-up, my winner of Miss Universe Philippines 2022. I can see her very easily wearing the Miss Universe Philippines crown. Are you ready? Because it's here. This is my final predictions for Miss Universe Philippines 2022. We all enjoyed the preliminary competition, from the interviews to swim to gown, and now we're just waiting for the final night for a new Miss Philippines to be crowned. A new woman to wear the Philippines sash at Miss Universe. I'm so excited. I know you're so excited too. So let's jump right into my final predictions. I believe there's going to be a top 16. So I have a top 16, a top 10, a top 5, and a top 3. Right into the top 16. We're wasting no time right now. I have two contestants who I haven't talked a lot about, but I've really enjoyed watching their journeys. One contestant is Miss Pangasinan and the other is Nuevo Visaya. I think both these women are absolutely incredible, both of which won special awards actually. And so I feel like the special awards, they may not mean someone is going to win the whole competition, but they mean that these contestants stood out to a specific sponsor or in a specific challenge. So both of these women definitely have the potential. I feel like they've both performed well on stage. They've both done well in interviews. So we will see if they land in the top 16. I couldn't decide between these two, so technically I have a top 17. Next up, Mandaue. Mandaue has surprised a lot of us in her onstage performances. She is always looking very polished, and I mean, all these women are so amazing. It is so hard to narrow it down, but a lot of you love Mandaue as well. I've really liked her in her interviews. She's very fun, easy to talk to, and so she landed a spot in my top 16. Next up, another contestant I haven't talked a lot about is Miss San Juan. I recently saw one of the, I believe it was Empire Philippines episodes. I've really enjoyed those episodes. If you guys haven't watched them, I highly recommend checking them out. It takes you behind the scenes of rehearsals, the events, and I feel like we really get to know the contestants even better through their interviews. San Juan has been in a couple of those, and she was in the most recent one, I believe episode 12, and I really liked her. I felt like she was easy to chat with. The next contestant in my top 16 is Laguna. Laguna had a wonderful preliminary performance in gown and swimsuit. I thought she was really amazing. I loved her gown performance. She's really stood out to a lot of you as well. She was one of the ones I saw her name come up a few times in the live that I did. I really enjoyed Laguna's interview as well. She was very sweet and kind of shy, but I really liked her interview. Laguna is on my list. So far, let me know in the comments if any of these women have made it to your list for your final predictions. Next up, an amazing preliminary performance, Iloilo Province. Iloilo Province would have ranked higher in my list, but I just wasn't totally convinced from her interview. And the reason that I'm saying that, I think she did very well in the interview, but I found her to be quite rehearsed, not as genuine, authentic, kind of in the moment, if you will. I felt like she was very trying to say things that they want her to say, if that makes sense. And I always tell women that when they're going to go compete in whatever pageant, that you really want to remain true to yourself and be yourself. As cliche as that sounds, that's what the judges are looking for. They are looking for a woman who is truly herself and not trying to be what she thinks the organization is looking for. But nonetheless, she's inspiring, she's amazing, amazing stage performance. I would be shocked to not see her in the top 16. Next on my list, Palawan. Palawan had such a beautiful, amazing, wow factor preliminary performance. Her swim, easily one of my favorites. I thought she was so incredible. She nailed every turn, every pose. So many of you, your jaw was like on the floor. You're like, wow, Palawan was the biggest surprise for me. I thought she was amazing. Palawan wowed so many of us, and I really would love to see her in the final 16. What do you guys think? Next up, Miss Baguio. Miss Baguio was so incredible in the prelims as well. She was, I mean, she wowed so many of you, not only in swim, but also in gown. I will say that Miss Baguio's interview, I found her to be very nervous. She was talking really fast and taking a lot of like inhales. And so the judges are very understanding that the women are very nervous. This is the biggest job interview of their lives. And so I did find that maybe her interview might knock her back a few notches because, of course, being Miss Universe Philippines, being Miss Universe, a big part of your platform is interviews, public speaking. I'm not sure sure if Miss Baguio's nerves maybe kind of got in the way of her interview, or maybe that's just how she talks when she's very excited or a little bit nervous. But nonetheless, I really would love to see her in the top 16. And again, I would be shocked to not see her in the final 16. Now we have Miss Taguig. Miss Taguig was so incredible in interview, in the prelim gown and swimsuit. She's really stood out to me during the whole competition. I really think she's an amazing contestant. I would love to see her rise all the way to the top 5. Yeah, I just think she's amazing, and I know a lot of you love Miss Taguig as well. Cebu Province, one of my favorite contestants, always one of my favorites in interview. So fun, so smiley, always looks like she's enjoying herself, which I totally love, and that's something that I look for if I'm judging or just watching the contestants in general, is someone who truly seems like they're enjoying themselves. They're making this an experience that's going to be memorable. It's going to be just such a big part of their lives. Cebu Province is that girl for me. Next up, another big favorite, Cebu City. The black velvet gown totally won me over in the preliminary. She's been a favorite among many of you in swim, in interview. She's definitely a favorite among fans. Now we'll have to see if the judges agree and if they put her into the top 16. Misamis Oriental. Misamis. I think I'm finally saying it better. Misamis. Okay. Misamis Oriental, one of my favorite contestants. You guys know, if you watch my last predictions, she was actually my #1 ranked contestant. I feel like in her interview and prelim, I was hoping for a little bit more. Obviously, she was still amazing. I always want to give that disclaimer, but she nonetheless is in my final 16. Davao del Norte. Davao del Norte is another one of my personal favorite contestants. Loved her in interview, loved her in swim, loved her in gown. She stood out to me in the lime green gown. I really think, she should be talked about even more. I think she's such an amazing contestant. For me, consistently one of the best in the casual interviews. For example, those Empire Philippines interview, all access episodes. Love her in all of those. She's just so much fun, really interesting to talk to. I just find her to be a very interesting contestant. So I would love to see her in the final 16. Miss Elbai. Miss Elbai is in my final 16. I really want to see her there. Her interview for me was one of the best interviews. I think a lot of you can agree. She was so calm, so interesting. She really shared so much about herself in such a genuine and easygoing way. I've always really loved Miss Elbai, so I really want to see her in the semifinals. A major fan favorite, Miss Bohol. Miss Bohol is such a favorite. She's so amazing, and again, one of the best interviews. Her interview was so memorable. If you watch my favorite interviews, I just couldn't believe that story she shared. I thought it was so funny. You literally can't not remember that. So she consistently has been so strong. She has proven to us before that she can rise to the top. Miss Bohol is definitely in my semi-finalists, and she has to be there. Like, she can't not be there. Speaking of contestants who can't not be there, Miss Makati. Miss Makati has to be in the final 16. I mean, I'm gonna start a petition if she's not. She's consistently been one of my favorite contestants. I think she's so amazing, great stage presence, wonderful in interview. She's inspiring. She's truly been one of my favorites from the very beginning, and I know a lot of you feel the same as well. So I would really hope to see her in the top 16. Rounding out my top 16 is none other than Miss Passai. Miss Passai blew us away in the preliminary competition. Her swim, her gown, she was incredible, remarkable, jaw-dropping. Miss Passai nailed it. Overall, best performance in prelims for me. She was amazing. She was amazing. Now I'll share with you my top 10. So I'm gonna go a little quicker now because you all know who's in my top 16. So in my top 10, I have Laguna, Taguig, Cebu Province, Cebu City, Misamis Oriental, Davao del Norte, Elbai, Bohol, Makati, and Passai. Moving right along to the top 5, I have Davao del Norte. Is that a surprise for some of you? Elbai, Bohol, Makati, and Passai. Now for my top 3, what I did is I did a second runner-up, a first runner-up, and a winner of Miss Universe Philippines 2022. Are you ready? Do you want to know who my winner is? And as a disclaimer, you guys know that I participated in Miss Universe, so I was a contestant. I made it to the top 9. I do feel like I know a lot about pageants, But I'm not a fortune teller. I can't tell you what exactly is going to happen on the final night. As you guys know, sometimes those we expect to perform super well don't always perform at their ultimate best, and there's always surprises. Somebody who is not anywhere on my list could come out and win the whole competition. So I do my best to give an accurate predictions, but ultimately this is for fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. I know a lot of you just find it to be fun and enjoyable as well. But afterwards, no matter what predictions I'm doing, people come at me as if I was somehow supposed to like exactly list every single woman in the order she's called into the semifinals, into the top 10, the top 5, the top 3, the winner. So I'm doing my best, but ultimately I'm having fun, and hopefully you're having fun too. With all of that, my second runner-up right now is Miss Bohol. My first runner-up, I don't know if you guys are gonna be surprised, my first runner-up is Miss Makati. And my winner of Miss Universe Philippines 2022, I bet you can guess it, I bet you're gonna know, Miss Passai. I finally was able to watch her actual interview. As you guys know, if you watch the interviews, her mic cut out and we missed like her whole interview, but I still had her in my favorite interviews because she just seemed so calm, so amazing, so well spoken. And I finally got to watch it and it was perfect. It was incredible. I was totally wowed by her. Overall, she's given the strongest performance in the interview, the swim, and the gown. And so if she keeps that up on the final night, I can see her very easily wearing the Miss Universe Philippines crown. Or should I say the Jewel Mare crown. All right, let me know in the comments, who is your favorite? Who is your #1 to win Miss Universe Philippines 2022? If you can only pick one contestant, one girl to wear that crown, let me know who it's gonna be. Even if you don't agree with my list, that is totally fine. We can all have different opinions. This is all just for fun, and we are ultimately here together to cheer on all these amazing women. We are here supporting them, and so that's what it's all about. If you want to see me live, reacting live to Miss Universe Philippines 2022, make sure you hit subscribe and you'll be notified when my live begins. I'm so excited to watch it. As always, if you guys want to see more of our everyday, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Those are linked below, and I will see you at the final show.